A thing that I've been observing in the idea about time itself and how people do their own things is that everybody has their own schedule and, well, their own things to do within their time. But what I'm curious is about one thing about time and what many people would do with it. I'm beginning to realize is that time don't go fast or slow, but only our perception of it, which is pretty obvious right there. If I spend 3 hours scrolling around and doing absolutely nothing, then that's spent time on a phone. And psychologically, in our time hierarchy, it's all in our minds, we don't value that time as much. But compared to those same 3 hours to doing an activity, eating food, or doing a hobby, or even a graduation, for example, then that hierarchy of importance changes. It's still the same 180 minutes of 3 hours, but how we value it is what I'm seeing here. And it's not about productivity, guys, because that's way too obvious of a lesson right there. Everybody should be productive. I mean, that's. But rather, graduation ceremony, a hobby, or doom scrolling would take the same amounts of 3 hours, which is 180 in this example. Then our brains would value all of these differently. Anyone would attend and show up for graduation, sure. A hobby too. But in the hierarchy of importance, when one uses it to sit down, maybe do something, relax around, then we don't value it as much. And what I realized is that everybody has their own slow hours of it. That's really obvious right there. Or they don't feel as happy or maybe productive and maybe exhausted all the options that would make one happy for the day. So for example, if 8 p.m. goes fast for this person, for example, but then if they stop at 7:50 p.m. and they plan something at 8 p.m., where in that time they usually do nothing, now that hierarchy is inverted about our time, then our perception of it changes even more. So for example, 1 hour in a class that one person hates, for example, it goes long because that person is doing nothing to cure that perception that they have about that time. There's no scribble scrabble in the notebook or maybe writing down notes about what's happening in the class. It's not necessarily unproductive, but it's not making it time itself go fast enough in our hierarchy. And if 8 p.m. we think goes by fast, that same 60 minutes is that same 60 minutes in the class that the person hates. So if one goes to a class, and that means what we value of that given time is what matters. For me, I realized that my logs during my sophomore year, I used to write down notes too, and sure, I also logged it in my head. For example, Salif getting caught using ChatGPT in English class, I had to categorize that in my mind too, and I also had to log that in my mind. So time for me went way, way faster. And also, for example, if I wanted to write like important essay, while I'm writing that essay, I'm literally on my notes pad on my other paper writing why I'm writing about the essay in the first place. So for me, that makes time go even faster because now I'm beginning to value something of the moment. Now it's going a little bit faster because I was enjoying, the moment, not knowing that I was actually using time. Now that time is pretty much slipping away. That's well used right there. That means in that hour that I decided to do something that I would value, whether it's up to something or not. That just increased our perception of given 60 minutes in that hierarchy. And what I realized is that this is not about being productive or nice with your time, but it's what one person would value doing in that time. I used all that extra time in these classes to log and note down the events, and a lot of people use those tips to do other things. For example, like even then, a day, I think Sunday goes by pretty fast. All right, I don't need to do much on that day, but a Monday has the exact same hours too. It's 24 hours, and what I'm realizing is that what am I not valuing in that time? What am I not doing that is making like the time go slower or faster to change my perception of it? And as for me, when you guys get that extra time, when you get to that one class that you hate, when you get to that one workplace that you don't like, when you get to that one place that you maybe like or no, don't like, what will you use that time for? What value will you make out of it so that your perception of it changes? Will you want it to go faster or will you want it to go slower? Like, what will one do in the case of this?